So today I want to talk about how utilizing AI is changing the hiring game. And so the biggest thing that I am going to cover today is how to actually showcase to a hiring manager or whoever you're being interviewed by, and also for the interviewer, does someone truly know how to utilize AI effectively? So let's just get right into it. The biggest issue that I've seen is that people will just be like, yeah, I use Claude, I use ChatGPT, but there's no depth to it. So I think to really start this process, you have to start by addressing what AI can do well and what AI can't do. So does someone know how to examine a problem or function that they're doing and truly understand, okay, here's where AI can help me, and then here's also where it falls short and where I have to jump in and have a human touch to it. So I think just by that, you can really separate yourself because AI is not able to do everything. Like, I think it's very well known today. A lot of people overhype it, a lot of people underhype it. So knowing the difference of, hey, here's something where it can actually be beneficial is huge and shows that you've thought about how it's able to be implemented into certain processes. So moving forward, you're able to leverage that thought process to know where it can and can't do well. So once someone's really able to showcase that they've identified whether an area or problem can be enhanced with AI, the next step would be like, well, how can I articulate to the AI, whether it's Claude, again, ChatGPT, Gemini, like what I need done? And honestly, picking a model at this point, like they all have the connectors, from my understanding, to pretty much be able to do what you need. And so it's very much up to the user. You can argue what model's better a little bit, but they're all good enough now to where it doesn't truly matter, in my opinion, as long as you're able to really articulate what you want done. That's more so the important part of it. Because if you're not able to articulate fully and in depth of what the problem is and how you want to go about solving it, then it doesn't matter what model you're using. Now, some of the better ones, you may be able to get away with it, but you're not going to get the solution that you're looking for. So having a clear, thorough discussion, like with your AI, whether it's talk to text or just manually typing, of like, hey, this is the workflow I'm looking to create, or like, I want to create a system where I know who to follow up with, and these are the people I'm targeting, and this is the key differentiator of like how I want to follow up with them, whether it's on email, text, if they get back to me, like having that all like well thought out and spoken to is really what's going to allow a system to not be like clunky or feel awkward. So I think a lot of this is all pretty well known at this point, but truly how you articulate that, like identifying what the problem is and be like, hey, this is why I went about it this way, and to be able to showcase that to a hiring manager is what really works well in the interview process from my own experience as a recruiter. So something I want to touch on is when you're choosing what problem to solve, it's also critical to show the interviewer and also for the interviewer to hear that the problem that they're choosing is a high ROI problem. It's also showcasing that you assess a multitude of problems or different areas of your day-to-day workflows and show like, hey, I chose one of the highest ROI, if not the highest ROI area to tackle right away. Because then that showcases that you put thought and you don't just mindlessly go ahead and type. And I'll get into next of like how to actually make sure that you're utilizing tokens efficiently, because that is something to be said, especially for engineers and product individuals. Hey, you need to make sure that you're not overusing tokens and just mindlessly wasting them. So being really concise and articulate with what you say for the problem is important. And another thing that I think needs to be addressed is also the overuse of buzzwords. Like everyone's gonna say, I built an agentic workflow. Well, what does that truly mean? Because a lot of the times, workflows are simply one trigger to a function. So when you have that one issue and like story to really showcase to the interviewer, like, hey, this is the main thing that I solved for, like it was clearly high ROI, was huge help to my workflow and my day-to-day. You want to go about making sure, again, articulated it well, but also what were some of the problems along the way? Like, I'm sure you didn't just one-shot it. A lot of people are like, oh, I can one-shot a prompt to end dashboard, end workflow in one go. You probably came up along some hiccups along the way and some road bumps. And that's what the interviewer is really looking for, is like, hey, did you learn about how to navigate through these issues along the way? What were some of the problems that came up with? Did you see that one of the features that came up was a little useless? Like, did you keep it in there? Did you get rid of it? Like, how much time did you go looking over your final output, or your original output, I should say, before getting to your final? I think showcasing that really dives into your problem solving ability and allows for the hiring manager / interviewer to really learn, like, okay, this person's thoughtful about their work and is able to not just send us the first iteration or maybe like the second or third, but like truly has a polished, finished workflow, product, solution, whatever it may be. So I'll leave it with this. What I've seen AI really be able to do for a company is allow for more cross collaboration and the overstepping of functions. So take product and engineering, for example. They're the same thing at this point in time. Every product manager, product owner should be able to build a feature, function, take what they've built with the roadmap and actually start to build out and code, utilizing Claude Code, whatever it may be, some actual prototypes and ones. But then on the other hand, engineers need to think more so in a product mindset with, okay, how is this going to affect the overall company direction? Like, I understand this is the company goal here. This feature that I'm assigned, I can do well, but like, how can I make sure it ties into what like the overall product roadmap is showcasing? But also, how does this fit into the overall roadmap as a whole? And making sure that it works well with the other features being built by other engineers. I think engineers got to start thinking more like product folks, but then product individuals need to be able to execute and actually produce code like engineers. I truly believe now that this makes operations allowed to streamline a lot more workflows, but sales, marketing, and customer success can all do the same as well. So say for a salesperson, for example, you can quickly take call notes or a list of target companies, build a couple dashboards, make sure you're tracking follow-ups appropriately, effectively, having customized, tailored messaging, building slide decks with customized data points, logos, whatever it may be. And then for marketing, you can now do more output, get more creative, do better marketing campaigns that would take whole agencies to outsource to with just Claude design and adjacent tools. And from operations, again, you can streamline so many more workflows with whether your team uses Slack, if your engineering group is looking to really connect with a clinical team or sales team and share data points, they can build nice dashboards that are very easy to be digested by a sales team and vice versa. So it's really cool to see now the like interconnectivity that AI is allowed in an organization, which is allowed for more leaner organizations as well, which is, I think, why it's never a better time to be a startup at this point, because you can now have X more output with the same amount of individuals, where before you may need 5, 8 engineers to really get a full product out there. And depending on what the product could be, even more. Now it may only take 2 to 3 or 4. Like, you can slice in half that amount. Now, I'm not saying AI is taking jobs, but it allows for more ideas to get off the ground. So I know that was a lot, but again, hopefully you learned something from this video and take into your next interview. I would love to hear your thoughts on how you're able to articulate AI at a really high level to a hiring manager, or how to really screen for it as well in an interview process. So please drop in the comments below if you have any thoughts on this. Would love to learn, how I can do better as a recruiter screening for this. I'm always looking to get better, but hopefully you learned something, and until next time.